That man put his hands on me, I would have immediately swung on him.
Well, I can't blame him for being a bit hesitant, and that's why.
He's got a hold of him all the way up there.
Rapper Young Thug will not be heading to prison. A Fulton County judge ruled today he did not violate probation.
And obviously it was
And just like that, we back. How y'all doing out there in TV world, TV land, or whatever y'all call that? You dig what I'm saying? This is I Jack Travis. We back for another one, man. This is like the weekly roundup I said I was gonna start doing. You know what I'm saying? Because so much happens out here in our world, man. It's difficult to come up with a show. I mean, through the daily cycle, I have other things to do. You dig what I'm saying? So I said we're just going to start to compile things towards the end of the week, and we're going to wrap it up like that, man. We got everything. We're going to start with some good news, though, cool. We got a couple of winding roads to go down. You dig what I'm saying? We're going to start in the sports world with someone who, honestly, I ain't going to hold you, was my favorite player when these three individuals hit the league. One was a Carmelo Anthony, a Dwayne Wade, and LeBron? No, yeah, those three, right? Was it those three? But anyways, Carmelo Anthony was my favorite player, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? I used to hoop, and I like the way Melo gonna put up 30 shots a game. You know what I'm saying? He gonna get his. I heard him tell an interesting story a little while ago about when he started to get later on in his career. I think when he went to Houston, they didn't want him taking mid-range jumpers, and so that was kind of like the beginning of the end because, you know, he's a guy that's used to getting to his spots and scoring, you know what I'm saying, putting that thing up. But Melo said, man, they told me that, hey, they going towards another analytic, you know what I'm saying, forget the mid-range, go to the three-point line and take it to the hole and get a foul. But Melo, first ticket, first ballot, Hall of Fame inductee, you dig what I'm saying? Congrats for the boy Melo, man. Melo was cold as ice out there. You dig what I'm saying? So congrats to Melo, man. Now, we've got a person, the next person we're talking about is someone that covers the sports world. And in not such a good way. You know, this guy here tries to have his hand in a little bit of everything from politics to sports to, and, you know, he goes on tour with Bill O'Reilly. You see him on Sean Hannity's show. This fella here is a piece of work. A Mr. What is it, 0.5 a game? Mr. 0.5 a game, Stephen A. Smith. Now, Stephen A. been in the news a lot here lately. I just spoke on some of his exploits. More recently, he almost got a black eye too by one LeBron James. LeBron decided to leave the huddle early one night at the Lakers game and approached this lame ass nigga. You know what I'm saying? You better running your mouth all the time on this here television screen. And it's one thing to talk basketball and about what I'm doing and not doing, or any other player is doing and not doing, or what my son is or is not doing, as far as it pertains to putting the round orange basketball in the hoop. That's fair game, sir. But when you come out of your mouth and address me as a father, nigga, you done crossed all lines. Now I punch you out, huh? I'll punch you clean, smooth out.
Oh, my God, no! Look at the size of that man! Well, I can't blame him for being a bit hesitant, and that's why.
He's got a hold of him all the way up there.
You understand what I'm saying? Let Stephen A. tell it after he approached him, after he went on this little La La Land merry-go-round tour around the world. And, you know, that makes me speak on some people that because Stephen A. went to Gil's Arena. Now, I think I've told a story before that, again, I was a pretty damn good hooper in my day. I happen to have missed my opportunity at being a varsity player in 9th grade. Largely in part, now that I know as an older guy, I was a guy that started school early because I have a funny birth date in September. You understand me? So I was always one of the youngest in my class. And that being, it was like me, my cousin, and another girl. We were, always the youngest in the class. And that coupled along with the guys that played basketball at the time having been held back a grade at some point in their scholastic career, it led to a large gap in growth and development and just maturity. You dig what I'm saying? So when I was presented with the opportunity, I didn't take advantage of it. And that was that led to the end of my basketball, my whole sports career a couple years later. But basketball, I was a dog. Hadn't quite hit my growth spurt when I was presented with the opportunity. So I didn't think I was going to get no burn. So I didn't take the opportunity. I hit a growth spurt the next summer, went up like 4 or 5 inches over the summer. Banging on niggas. Headed to the 10th grade, you know what I'm saying? But I had already kind of made a bad inroad with the coach. I ended up making him resign because I caused the big stink about not getting on the team. I was really an asshole back in my days. But it took me getting older to realize that. So, baseball, I would lead the pitcher mound. I could literally go to any position on the field. I could hit, I could run, all of that. When I speak about Gil's Arena, and I know it's supposed to be a quick show, but I had to sidebar to this. Had I reached the top of my profession, you dig what I'm saying, on the basketball field, I would have been coming out in the years that Gil and, Swag and all them that's on the show, it'd have been around in that era. And so when Gil first came on with his show, I used to watch it a lot. I really liked, what they brought to the table, you know what I'm saying? But, it's hard to listen to Gil on a daily basis because there's not a situation that has ever been created on God's green earth that Gilbert Arenas is not the foremost expert on. You know what I'm saying? It gets kind of irritating hearing that he just won't stop, bro. It's just like move the goalpost and then, Rashad get on. So it's just like, then BJ got in this bag a little while ago about how good he was in basketball. Nobody's better than him, but it's kind of hard to listen to him. But then Gil, I guess he was trying to court an appearance or court a career at First Take with Stephen A. So he went on the show a couple of weeks ago. And immediately thereafter, about a couple days after, in the midst of this little beef with LeBron and Stephen A goes and does Gil's Arena. Man, them niggas sat on that couch and simped out so hard, bro. Rashad McCants at one point even said he was little Stephen A. They sat there and let this man sit there, Stephen A, sit there and talk. Stephen A said he thought it was weak what LeBron did. And if LeBron would have swung on him, he would have immediately swung back.
That man put his hands on me, I would have immediately swung on him. Immediately.
It was certainly a treat for all of us to watch here tonight. So much bad blood between these two. This superstar can now enjoy his victory. Oh, what the hell's he doing? Oh, no, not the steel chair. Come on. Oh, my God. Him. This is absolutely heinous. Totally uncalled for. He's out of control.
I don't even know if I believe he would have swung back. He most certainly, I don't think he could whoop LeBron ass. But I don't even think he would have swung back. But that's Stephen A and his controversy. Back and forth with that. Then here recently, he comes with that anonymous source shit. Anonymous old school basketball player told him that no way Steph Curry would dominate back in the day because we would hurt him. Like, what kind of shit, first of all, what kind of shit is that to say? What kind of shit is that to bring to national television? And third of all, he probably lied. He just something to say, just something to create some clickbait. You dig what I'm saying? But that's Stephen A in the basketball world, man. Now, I recently saw him the other day, maybe like yesterday. They were getting into a heated debate about the WNBA. And one young lady, is it Olivia Miles? She's playing ball at Notre Dame right now, and instead of going into the WNBA draft next year, she's going to transfer from Notre Dame and go to another college. Now, they got NIL money in college these days, so being an athlete in college is a good deal. You understand what I'm saying? Especially when you look at the amount of these NIL deals, and you look at the fact that a young woman in her first year in the WNBA is set to make like what, $75,000. So it's a better deal to go into the NIL movement. And so the young lady he was kind of going back and forth with, you know, they get all in their bag. They get all emotional when you point out the factors as to why the WNBA aren't paid like NBA players. I think Angel Reese brought something up here lately about she felt like they should be paid accordingly like the men. I don't know if they're saying they want the type of contracts that the men want. I think it's more of a revenue share, because from what I understand, 42% of what the WA brings in goes to the NBA. But from what I understand, it goes like that because the WNBA is like annual. They lose like $40 million annually. On the other hand, the NBA made $11 billion last year. You dig what I'm saying? So it's like when you look at it that way, they really don't have an argument. And you know, I've got a young lady that's into sports and stuff around. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, we just got to keep it real. No one watches the NBA, bro. Their average viewership is like 300,000 per game. Like, that's nothing. I doubt that the stands even touching that, unless you're talking about an Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark game. Asia Wilson didn't get that many eyes on it. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, and if you sit down and watch the product, bro, come on, I ain't gonna hold you, my nigga. You know what I'm saying? You gotta keep it real. Like, it's not really that interesting. It's a lot of tomfoolery going on out there. So the argument that they should be paid like the NBA is an argument that they'll never win. And and if they're talking about striking and not signing the deal and making demands, I think they got an opportunity to be no more. And I don't think many people would miss the WNBA. So they got to walk the line with making these demands and all of that, man. Maybe they'll get some more interest in their league if they start to do what this young man right here has started back doing.
I mean, obviously, it was
Yeah, this got to be one of the most autistic in the league. Ja Morant made the gun motion again. We ain't even gonna spend a lot of time on Ja Morant, because at this point, it's like, what do you say to a guy that's already missed multiple games and multiple monies behind making gun gestures in the current climate we live in? Him and T, bro, I'm sick of him and T. T swear they twin brothers, you know what I'm saying? He stay on the sideline with his hands in the air, animated, getting kicked out. Like, they too much, bro. So if them folk look into it and do something with him again, I wouldn't even be surprised. Maybe I'll make a show about it if it's super egregious. But for someone that's got that in their past, man, and like real life situations with the gun, like, you just, come on, bro. Can you not find another celebration, man? Like, I don't even get it. You dig what I'm saying? Like, what's the relevance? Because, you know, people are out here getting shot by guns each and every day, man. Which brings us into our next little news segment, Sauce Walker. Now, there's been a lot of gunplay around that man's name here in the last week. We all know that Sauce and his artist Say So P were up in Memphis about a week ago doing the show, popping it. You know what I'm saying? We in Memphis where these rap niggas don't go, is what Say So P said at some point prior to what ended up unfolding, and we all know what unfolded. Gunman pulled up I won't call his name because I almost said it wrong. Jaden is his first name, but him along with another guy pulled up, jumped out, shots fired, laid Say So P down out there, hit Sauce Walker in the leg. Walk survived. Day or two later, Jaden Dandridge is his name. A couple days later, Mr. Dandridge found dead in Houston, Texas. Now, we don't know the particulars behind that. We don't know if the people in Memphis cleaning up their loose ends and dropped them in Houston to make it look like that, or did some Sauce goons from Houston make the trek up towards Memphis or wherever. They did some quick work. Some real work real quick. You dig what I'm saying? But yeah, they got him 2 days in. And the prevailing thought about the other guys that he's met the same fate. I think I read something somewhere, but I don't think I've seen a full, just like for sure account of that. But yeah, man, that's the gunplay that's surrounded that young man and that rapper. You dig what I'm saying? Now, since we're in the rap world, and speaking about unfortunate deaths, we've got to talk about young Scooter. Young Scooter passed away here a couple of days ago on his 39th birthday. Fell victim to a swatting incident. Yeah, Demi is all we know of her right now, but they do have her in, I would think maybe Rice Street. Down there in that part of the, she probably at Rice Street. They got her banged up. I hope she gets the maximum of their abilities, which I think I read the possible term for swatting that leads to a fatality, great bodily harm, is either 1 to 10 years or 5 to 20 years. I would hope she gets the maximum. That man died jumping over a fence because she decided to call the police with this crazy ass story. This man opened the door. One of them dudes opened the door. They over there, you know what I mean, pre-gaming for Scooter's birthday. See the police, they panic, run out the door. They find Scooter dead, handful of minutes later on the other side of the fence. Fell and broke his leg, hit his leg in such a way that he apparently went into his femoral veins and arteries and all of that like that and bled out. That happened a couple days ago, man. You dig what I'm saying now? Since we're in Atlanta talking about rappers and gunplay, Lil Baby may be next on the chopping block. Fannie Willis and them mad about the Young Thug thing. Young Thug made him look stupid. Right before that, Trump was down there, made her look stupid. You dig what I'm saying? They just let Lucci out a little while ago. They trying to pin something and get something to stick. And apparently the great-chested attorney that tried to put Thug up through there were unsuccessful. Apparently she's in court yesterday and she played some testimony from a young man. And from what I remember hearing on it, it's just like, Baby got some tickets on his forehead. It was kind of a grainy conversation. We don't know who he was talking about. But, it's been some whisperings about that for a while that they're going to try to wrap Baby up in this 4PF thing. And I know a while ago he tried to disband the whole of 4PF movement or at least step away from it as far as the mainstream. You dig what I'm saying? Because of these RICO charges that be coming out of nowhere these days. But when you got so many moving parts and you're the only person that's a millionaire, niggas out here in the streets and ain't getting it like you, they still doing nefarious activities. And if they pull them over or catch them up in something, they got a 4PF chain on, like, you ordered it. You the man with the millions. You can make people move. They'll move for you because they're trying to get money. So it was always some tricklings about Lil Baby being involved in some of this, man. And so if an official indictment comes forward here sometime soon, I wouldn't be surprised. But the attorney that brought it forward, she's got plenty of dirt on her name as far as being a credible area to get information from. You dig what I'm saying? But that's the thing to keep our eyes on. And speaking of Thug, again, put a tweet out saying that she's the most corrupt, the biggest liar in the courtroom down here in that part of the county. And from that, apparently they're calling to violate that man for 15 years. Now, I don't think that'll work.
Said to violate any condition of probation or threaten a witness.
We know that it is clear to Mr. Williams that the intent of the district attorney is to
Rapper Young Thug will not be heading to prison. A Fulton County judge ruled today he did not violate probation by retweeting a photo. Channel 2's Michael Seiden spoke with the defense attorney, and he's live in DeKalb County, where, Michael, they're now calling this one a major win.
It is short and straight to the point. Fulton County Superior Court Judge Paige Reese Whitaker's order denying DA Fonnie Willis's motion to revoke Atlanta rapper Young Thug's probation. While the court does not find that the cited social media post rises to the level of a violation of defendant's probation, she wrote, it may be prudent for defendant to exercise restraint regarding certain topics. Judge Whitaker's decision came just a day after the state accused the Grammy Award-winning hip-hop artist of violating his probation after he reposted a social media post that included a photo of an investigator with a caption that accused the investigator of being the biggest liar in the DA's office.
They haven't gotten over the fact that this case didn't go their way. They haven't gotten over the fact that this was a ridiculous case that should never have been brought, and they were embarrassed by the way it ended.
In the state's motion filed on Wednesday night, DA Willis claimed that the Atlanta native, whose real name is Jeffrey Williams, engaged in conduct that directly threatens the safety of witnesses and prosecutors. Willis says after the post went viral, she began receiving threats. She also claimed that the investigator, who was a witness in the YSL case and currently a witness in another high-profile gang case, and the investigator's family are all getting threats too.
We certainly believe that his post was to threaten law enforcement, which is all part of gang activity.
It's difficult to put into words how ridiculous the state's motion is. It's really a rant described as a motion.
Yeah, and as soon as that decision came down, I did reach out to DA Fonnie Willis's office for comment, but so far I haven't heard back. We're live in DeKalb County. Michael Seiden, Channel 2 Action News.
They're probably just trying to scare him up. I wouldn't imagine he's getting too scared about that, but that's definitely what they're trying to do, man. And, you know, a lot of these things we hear and see out here, they come from people getting on in front of cameras and just talking way too much. Whether it be in their personal little camera, on their personal page, or a lot of times we see it on places like Vlad TVs and No Jumpers. Well, unless you're going to go and talk directly to Adam 22, you may not get an opportunity to do it at No Jumper. Adam said No Jumper is broke and cutting back significantly on some of their content. You dig what I'm saying? Now, maybe No Jumper, you know, the entity, you dig what I'm saying, going through some financial problems, or ran through too much money, but I don't think Adam himself is broke, you know what I'm saying? He's been doing this for a while, and I'm sure that most of the proceeds went to his bank account, being like a soul, you know what I mean? When it comes to this YouTube thing and stuff like that, it doesn't, as far as the main talent, you know what I'm saying, it's kind of hard to make that be more than one person. You don't really need many people to do interviews and ask stupid questions, you know what I'm saying? Ask police questions. So I'm sure that his pockets are straight, but apparently his company, No Jumper, has faced some financial difficulties, man. Say he went out and bought a $4 million building during COVID, which is stupid though. He's like, man, we were killing it so much during COVID, man. We went and got a $4 million building. Who in the world thought that the things that were happening during COVID were going to continue? Everybody know that people were doing more because they were sitting in the house. So, of course, people watching more YouTube. But, you had to know that eventually they were going to go back to work. And, you know what I'm saying? So, to go out and do so much off the back of that is kind of crazy. Created a million different shows. But here recently, like I said, things are tightening up. And apparently, their Instagram page, their true original Instagram page with millions of followers, has mysteriously gotten banned, suspended. I had saw the No Jumper LA on Instagram a time or two, but I thought it was just something, a separate page. But apparently, that's the main page, because the main page, after 10 years or so, is no more. You dig what I'm saying? But yeah, man, watch what you say when you go over here talking to Adam there, man. Adam got picked up by the feds the other day, so I'm sure he is a pipeline of information. So just like that, man, it's been the weekend roundup. I'll get at y'all soon.